What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast. Jeez, I'm happy. I'm happy to be filming another episode for you guys. People seem to really enjoy the podcast episode. The first one got over 200 views, and for a podcast, that has just started, it's incredible. When I started the last podcast, believe it or not, Let's Talk Vision, I was getting 20 to 60 views per maybe a day per episode, and of course it gradually grew, and I appreciate that very much. But this podcast is growing even larger than what it's supposed to grow, right? Judging by my channel. But no, I'm happy, by the way, how good the episode is doing. People love it. Honestly, I got some new comments, new people, new audiences, new subscribers, and all that. So I'm happy. That I am happy about. There's a couple things that I'm not happy about. So my energy might be a little bit low. You know what I'm saying? But not too low, because I'm not dying either way, right? So keep in mind, if I find my phone, let me tell you what the day is today. So we were technically supposed to have an episode yesterday, or should I say today I'm recording on the day of a Wednesday. I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that. Today I'm recording this episode on a day of Wednesday, and I'm uploading it on Thursday, which is tomorrow for the majority of people watching this episode. So on Tuesday, I've actually we're supposed to record an episode, but I didn't have an episode planned out, and honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I forgot. Alright, don't come at me, you feel me? Just relax, nice it down. But I'm gonna get into the grind of, getting episodes out and just having fun with the episodes. The third episode, I'm not kidding, I might actually have a buddy on, a guest on, to talk about whatever, martial arts, because he's really into martial arts, talk about all that. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a lot of people on the show. And if any of you guys want to be on the episodes on the show, guys, just DM me, and I'll gladly have you on the show. You can come in my crib, and this is the couch for the guests. But of course, no one is here today, so it's just me. Yeah, guys, you could probably think, what happened to the set? Well, it's still there. But I'm honestly the background is too plain for me. I want to get a sign in the back saying the Rockified Podcast. Either I order it or make it and then order it online or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's in the works. So we're gonna probably be recording on this for the majority of the time. Honestly, I feel like this is the better background, better lighting, better everything. I still got to go to the gym today, so. Keep that in mind. After this podcast, I will be going to the gym. Yeah. I've also gotten a lot of messages on Instagram. People, I guess, in a way complaining, but not really, because I'm talking to a camera while, as you can see on YouTube right now. However, the people on Spotify cannot see that I'm talking to a camera. Right now it's audio for them. So I think I'm going to just when I narrate or talk, I'm going to be talking in a form where you don't need to really see anything. So if you're listening to my podcast on Spotify, you don't really got to worry about how it looks like. It's just the topics are mainly your concern. But if you're viewing me on video on any platform, then yeah, the set is going to probably be this one for when we have guests, and we'll put the actual sign when we have the Rockified sign. I'm gonna put it over here or something, just so it's in the shot and it looks good. I'm also thinking maybe even going fully green screen on the actual set when we record, because this is just temporary right now. It looks nice. I'm like, you know what? I thought this would be nice to do. So yeah, we do have a couple things to talk about today. Like I already mentioned, the podcast episode and the set, but I also want to talk about the videos I've been putting out, the vlogs. Guys, people have been loving the vlogs, getting good feedback on the vlogs. everyone's digging the vlogs, and I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying the vlogs. I think the only thing that people don't like is the fact that they're the same repetitive things every day. My days aren't really different, you know. I actually was gonna go drive around yesterday and do a nice vlog with my boys, but we're like, what are we gonna do, you know? And he had to leave, so I was gonna I had plans, a big vlog in plans, you know. But I guess that's not happening. But whatever, right? We're here. We have another vlog coming out. Today's Wednesday. We have another vlog coming out either today after this podcast or probably next week. I won't be doing vlogs every week or every day, at least for now. Like I said, if you guys don't know, let me tell you the schedules. Vlogs are going to be going out either on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So any of these 2 days, you might get 2 vlogs daily from Tuesday and Wednesday, whatever. Or you could yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, I got a little distracted there, but yeah. So yeah, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, vlogs in either one of those days, or both days. The podcast, I'm thinking right now, the schedule for right now, it's gonna be every Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? You know, so we can record and post them the next day, or so on, or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah, I mean, not too much work when it comes to doing these things for you. I'm gonna try to make the vlogs daily, honestly, because I know people really want to see my vlogs. A lot of people, when I went up to pick my buddy Denver from school to hang out for lunch, he told me that he and his group of friends watched the vlogs. So all you guys, thank you very much for watching the vlogs. I appreciate you a lot. Let's see who's texting me. Jeez, sorry. No, one of my friends was texting me because they wanted me to do some of their homework because they're struggling, and I said I'll help them because I do anything for a friend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's get right into the rhythm of the podcast. First things first. I think the biggest thing that's on headlines today, or like the past maybe almost a month now. I need my water for this. Where the hell is my water? I need my water. Do you guys know where my water is? It's in the back. I'm not gonna stand up. The biggest things that is standing out in the headlines is probably gonna be the fact that Mr. Beast, he's all over the news. By news I mean YouTube news. You know, nothing too crazy. So I guess okay. I'm gonna be careful what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna get right into it. So of course, it's all over the news. Like I said, Mr. Beast is literally everywhere, but for the wrong and right reasons, I guess. In matter of opinion. So his best friend, who he knows for around like maybe 10, 13 years, something like that. He has transitioned to he's transgender now. He's becoming a woman, you know? And the fact that people are hating, and okay, obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that people are stating their own opinion, I personally don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But then the fact that they're showing hate, you know, there's a difference. You know, obviously we're in a world now where, like, if you say 2 + 2 is 4, if that's a fucking opinion now, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm realizing. It really is, because I on the news I heard a couple of months ago that some woman went on there for an interview, and they did like they were, if I'm searching it up right now, let's see if I'm right, but they were talking about 2 + 2 being 4 is some sort like racist, you know, that's racism, something like that. And I was like, this must be a joke, you know. Math has nothing to do with race or even gender, you know. They said something like it's racistly sexualist, something like that. I have no idea. And it confuses a person, if you know what I'm saying. Because math is straight up facts, not opinions. But I guess we were all wrong. So that's that, you know. When it comes to Chris Tyson transitioning, I honestly, I don't think there's going to be a problem. You know, I mean, obviously people are going to create a problem. For example, I've seen some memes on there that how is Jimmy going to say, you know, Jimmy's Mr. Beast. How is Mr. Beast now? How is he now going to say, me and the boys, you know, because he always stands out like, me and the boys decided to stay 24 hours at whatever, or did this for, you know what I'm saying, right? And obviously Chris thinks that's funny because it's whatever, right? So as you can see, it's not really affecting Chris too much, which is okay. I honestly, I don't care what Chris decides to do. I owe all of them Father's Day cards or thank you cards because I grew up with them. I started watching Mr. Beast when I was like 14 when I started watching him. Yeah, 13 or 14 years old back in like 2017, 2018. And, you know, I don't care what people say, you know. I'm still going to watch Mr. Beast no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So that's not really a problem for me, and I'm happy for Chris doing what he wants to do, what he thinks is the best for him. If he's been feeling like this for years, then of course he has to. It's all up to him. He's a full grown adult. He can choose. He can make his right decision. He can do whatever he wants with his life. Yeah, not much to say about that. You know, good luck with that, man. Hopefully you get no more hate. Yeah, not really much to say about that. Yeah, I hope everything goes well with everything. You know, I hope Mr. Beast doesn't get canceled or anything like that. And any rumors start. I hate rumors. Rumors are the worst. Rumors. Keep this in mind. Rumors can ruin relationships, friendships, possible relationships. They can ruin everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised that the Mr. Beast channel will probably start dying or getting a lot of hate because of how evil and hateful people can be. But yeah, moving on from that, guys. Also, I've noticed a trend going around universities and colleges. Maybe not high school because you're still pretty young and the workload isn't too much. But I've noticed a trend going around high schools where the students start realizing that maybe it wasn't the best decision to go to college immediately after 13, 14 years of grade school, immediately going to college. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of how can I say, stress on the student. You know, when it comes to the homework and even the assignments and exams. You know. So that's why I think they're taking a year off, and it's not just me. Currently, I'm not taking a year off, but I am planning on to soon, because of the fact that it's probably the best decision that I would be doing. Yeah, and don't feel ashamed to ever take a year off. You know, that's why it's always good to take a year off. You know, go to work, spend time with the family, take care of the house. My folks left me the house for about 2 to 3 months. So I can take care of it and to see if I'm responsible enough to take care of my own house, you know. And it seems to I'm doing a pretty good job. I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job because, you know, you know, nothing's broken, nothing's breaking, nothing's falling apart. You know, everything a little bit messy. I mean, let me see here. Not really. I vacuum maybe once a week, you know. Or when I see that it gets dirty, obviously I'm gonna vacuum. But no, I don't feel like I don't feel that I am a messy person, and I feel like I'm responsible enough to take care of that. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't really bother me staying alone. You know, at first, obviously, of course, you know. But not anymore. I think anyone can. You put your hard work and dedication to it, you can become whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to be. So yeah. Honestly about that. You know what's really been bugging me though? My voice. That has been bugging me to the max. I feel like it's necessary to talk about my voice because I know I always do. right? And I'm not trying to, should probably put this on mute. I'm not trying to say that it's a big deal or it's super important, but to me it is. I guess, like, how can I put it? If I check the schedule to when I recorded my last track, every time I record a random song, for example, about let's see here. That's a blah blah. Okay, last song I recorded was "Quit Playing Games with My Heart," which is a cover song of the Backstreet Boys, right? For another future album coming out like later in the year, or just another time. Yeah, that one it was 9 days ago. I haven't released it yet, just a cover song. But 9 days ago, my voice was in tip-top shape, and now it's not. So it's been about a week and a little bit of days. Why is that? What's going on? Why does my voice always do this? Well, I love candy. I love fried foods. I love bullshit junk food. It just tastes so good. Who doesn't like that, right? It feels like I haven't matured, you know what I mean? Because, like, I know I have friends who are like 15, 16 years old. I get it, right? They're still pretty young. You know, they like to eat candy and shit. You know, as an adult, it's like, you know, why am I still eating this? I love it. I crave sugar a lot. Currently, right now, behind this camera, I have a bag of chips, but I'm not eating it, though, because I'm actually trying to conserve my voice and my vocal cords, because I need to record some new music and finish an album and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a problem with me. And I just realized I said behind this camera, and again, to my Spotify listeners, behind this phone, I guess. Does that work for you guys? I'm so sorry. But I'm also, honestly, I'm thinking putting the Spotify thing on hold. I think lemon ginger tea and salt water and just a lot of water definitely fixes, you know, helps you quite a bit when you're trying to record music, you know. And I've been drinking a lot of that, you know. My voice. Keep in mind, I was originally sick for 4 days, and then 4 to 5 days, 5 days, and then I had 4 days, and then I have my voice right now. It's bad. It's not cracking because it used to be like every time I spoke like this. If you guys haven't seen my vlogs, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, my voice was like, it was like cracking every time, right? So, now it's like I can actually talk and, you know, normally, and it's not cracking and it's not embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, not much to say about that, honestly. But I'm glad it's getting better. I really am glad it's getting better. But it's just like I gotta let it rest and drink a lot of lemon ginger tea, water, and salt water. Maybe put it down to a minimum because that's also irritating. Yeah, I'm thinking just maybe a little bit of salt water throughout the day. You know, one small gargle, and then just back to my lemon ginger tea. You know what I'm saying? And water. You know. Yeah, just, you know, not doing too much on that. I'm not going crazy with that. You know. Because I gotta live my life. I gotta also eat my foods and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, I can have fun eating, you know? So yeah, not really much to say about that. I guess that's it for that. But I mentioned the Spotify thing. Most people do listen to my podcast on Spotify, because everyone has Spotify, and it's just a faster platform to access content with audio or video, etc., etc. So I guess what I am on Spotify. So if you guys are listening to this podcast on Spotify right now, thank you very much. Yeah, I am on Spotify, so you will see me there. I'm on there. Believe it or not, guys, my old podcast is not there anymore. I finally took it down. It's actually been replaced with my new podcast. So all the episodes are done. It's like an update version. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, for people on Spotify, I'm thinking I give you guys a whole separate interview, you know, so I can get a new audience, a new feedback, you know, different feedback. Because right now it's basically like, obviously there's no comments to put on Spotify, maybe just ratings. But right now it feels like I'm just releasing an audio version for the people who don't want to watch on YouTube, you know, and that's cool. You know, some people don't want to have YouTube open all the time, right, on their phones or laptops or whatever. But I want to give you maybe like a whole different type of episode. Obviously, it's still the same podcast, same topic, but different way of doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like a shorter version of it. You know, unless you guys like to listen to I don't know if many of you like listening to podcasts, but it seems that you do. So I'm gonna have to really plan that out with my team. You know, Aquarius Productions, and and then we'll see what we can do for Spotify. Believe it or not, Aquarius Productions, yeah, they are, first of all, it's my company I founded. They are the ones that are in charge of my distribution of music, podcast, anything, literally. We almost started doing merch, but we didn't have enough commission or the motivation, honestly, and just the way how to do the merch, and we didn't see people really buying it because I'm not that big of a store, right, or that big of a channel, or that big of a public figure, right? Automatically, as soon as you post things on YouTube and you become a ongoing poster on YouTube, and just you become an ongoing person with YouTube, you're automatically a public figure. No matter how small or how little, what type of topic you are, and all that, it doesn't matter. You're a public figure automatically. Just checking my messages right now because these are really important throughout the podcast. I'm currently texting Nick. If you guys want Nick on the show, comment down below. It would be good to have him on the show. He can chill here, and we can have an interview on the show. You know what? Actually, throughout the podcast, I've been thinking, what if we never really have an actual set? Like, obviously, we'll have a home set where the majority of the videos will be filmed for the podcast. But then, wherever we are, wherever we decide to do, as long as we have the sign that says the Rockified Podcast, there's no need to have an actual set. We'll have a set for the case that may be that we have no guest, or we just want to have a nice background, blah 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 blah. But let's say I have guests coming over, or on the show, then we can film it anywhere. All I gotta do is just bring my stuff, my equipment, and record. You know what I'm saying? And have the cameras recording at different angles, and so on and so on, right? You will get different angles of the podcast, but currently right now it's a simple show, like this Zach Sang show. He has obviously literally one angle on himself, and of course the majority of the camera and angles are on the guests themselves. There's another show where Ben Shapiro show, mad respect to him, just sits down on a table with a microphone, or not a microphone, with a microphone, a laptop, and that's it, and then the post-production is after. I mean, we'll see when it comes to that. I'm not sure, but I'm having second thoughts on that. And I also, people have been telling me they want the thing to be a little bit more professional. They want me to have an actual watermark or logo on the left, either this side of the screen or this side of the screen, but preferably this side of the screen that says the Rockified Podcast with Vrock, or the Rockified show, or whatever we put here, and then that's it, and then put of course the intro at Vrock official, whatever. Those ads are usually at the beginning of the video as soon as I start the podcast. First thing I put is obviously my ads, and then I put the my company and whatever other thing I want to promote. And when it comes to ads, at Vrock's gram, or at Vrock's whatever, it's for Instagram only, as you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make this show as best as possible when it comes to being professional. I want you guys to really to enjoy watching the show. I don't want this to be just something that you turn on because you're bored, or whatever the case may be. I want you guys to be like, oh shit, the new Vrock's episode from the podcast come out. I gotta watch this shit. I gotta listen to it. You know what I'm saying? I know I have pretty young viewers sometimes watching my videos, but everyone's fucking kids nowadays they act so old and tough, and I think they can take swear words. I'm gonna try to keep the swearing to a minimum, but I put in the description below, if you guys are watching this and you're pretty young, have parents involved. Have parents or a guardian or someone old enough to tell you what's happening. We'll never show anything explicit. Absolutely not. It's just the language sometimes might be a little bit tough. And the topics we're talking about. Well, nothing will ever be too explicit because of YouTube protocols and guidelines, and I don't want to break any of them because right now YouTube is on my side right now, and I really don't want to do that. My Aquarius Productions company channel is growing a lot, and I really thank my people for that. My company, you guys are making the channel grow. It's already, I think, almost 10 subscribers. I know I like to say it's a lot, but for me it is. Okay, some kid in Hamilton, of course it is. Obviously it is for me. So there's that, and I want you guys to, if you guys don't know that I have a company, the link will be in the description below. Go check it out. Literally, you can watch anything behind the scenes, in studio sessions, recording sessions, behind the scenes of a music video, interviews, you name it. It's all on there. And yeah, literally everything's on there. So go check it out. We have a lot of behind the scenes music stuff on that, you know, from Denver, River, and myself. And if anyone else wants to get signed by the company, just let me know. As I, you know, we're looking for rappers, singers, whatever the case may be. We're looking for all of them because we need to expand the company and the sound. We ever, you know, so just DM us. Don't feel shy. Don't feel ashamed. Yeah. I don't want to seem that I'm desperate for artists, but I am in a way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely. I want things to go my way when it comes to this. And here's another topic we can get into. Starting a company, like I said, if you want to start or achieve or accomplish any goal that you have in life, you gotta have motivation. You gotta put a hard work. And when I say hard work, you have to be positive. You know, don't be a pessimist. Some people like to argue with that and say, oh, but being a pessimist is actually good because they change the word into being a realist, you know, a realistic person. And I get that, right? I'm also a pessimist every once in a while. But that only comes to things that aren't big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not too much to say about that. You know, just keep a strong mindset and you'll get to where you want to be. That comes with anything. A company, a small goal, tying your shoelaces, playing the guitar, cooking, dancing, singing, recording, you name it, right? Actually, today, before I filmed this podcast, I was actually feeling super tired and just not feeling the best. You know, I didn't really want to film this podcast, but I realized that I need to film this podcast because I need to get out to you, my people that I love. And it's a lot of work, you know, because you got to process this at 4K resolution for 60 frames per second. It's around 30 minutes long. I think we're almost reaching the 30-minute mark right now. A lot of, not too much editing, honestly, but it's just a lot of work to stay at the computer and process the things, you know what I mean? Because you have to always be active, because if the computer goes to sleep, then it ruins. You have to be ready for anything, you know? But yeah, just keep a strong mindset with anything, you know? Have fun while you're doing it. That's the most important thing. If you're not having fun doing something, then stop doing it, right? Unless it involves your life, money, or anything like that. People say money doesn't buy happiness, but it does. If you want to go help the rainforest, whatever is happening, or the poor people in parts of the world that are poor, you need money. Sadly, you know, first of all, you need money to buy a fucking plane ticket to get to the place you want to go. Then you need money for resources, etc., etc. So just work hard, get the money, and you can change the world. You know, my goal is to I'm not saying I don't want to change the world, but I want to change the generation, at least my friends, at least, you know, I want to make them realize that losing things or taking things for granted, as soon as you lose them, because since you've taken things for granted, it hurts, you know, and anything, friends, relationships, physical things, you name it, you know. Some people mostly what are the things we take for granted? Our voice, our voice, our brain, anything that we're born with, because we're born with it, you know. We don't really care before it, you know what I'm saying? Our fingers, but then when we lose them, they're like, we start becoming really, really, when we lose them, we lose our sanity. But then we realize, wow, I should have never taken that shit for granted. Look what happened. Now I need this shit to live, to do my things. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's what I was listening to a brand new podcast on YouTube, and they were talking about the movie series Saw. You know, the serial killer who puts you in a game and then you have to figure it out. It's an escape room, but like escape room on steroids. But he actually kills you though. So apparently he says he never kills anyone. He just puts people in situations where they have to do harsh things, and if it involves hurting you or killing someone, it is what it is. You know. So and the people on this podcast, and I'm not saying I agree with this or anything like that, but the people on this podcast were saying, the mentality makes sense of the old man. First of all, it's a fictional story. It's not real. It doesn't exist. It's not, but the mentality is real. If you put I can't say that, but if you put someone who's in a mentally stressed situation and you put them into something where they have to save their lives, they will fight for whatever that is to not die, if they really care about their lives. People who hurt themselves or like something happens to them, or something, I can't say too much about that, but people who purposely do something to harm themselves, they whatever it is that they're doing, and they're put in some sort of dangerous situation, life-threatening, they change immediately. They get rehabilitated like this. And that was the guy. And keep in mind, that was what the guy was saying on the podcast. And of course, that's actually also a line in the movie, Or I think it was, if I remember correctly, Dead Meat. Yeah, Dead Meat. Shout out to Dead Meat. The Kill Count Killer Show, something like that, on YouTube. That they provide information on how many deaths on the movie, and etc. Fun show on YouTube. Go check it out. But they also said that in, I think it was Saw 2 or 3. No, Saw 3. They were stuck in the house. Yeah. I think it was Hoffman. It was Hoffman's house before he renovated it. They were stuck in the house, and he... What he did was he put all of them into a really dangerous situation. They were all drug addicts and mentally unstable people. And then each one of them got rehabilitated immediately because of the fact that when you're fighting for something, you realize, whoa, I need this. You're like, when you're in lack of something, you're like, how did I lose this? Why did I lose this? I should have never, it's like when you break your phone or something, you're like, oh no, why did I do that? Oh shit. Oh, damn it. I shouldn't have done that. I took things for granted. You break your phone, you're like, oh damn, I should have taken better care of my phone, right? You're taking for granted your phone, blah, 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 blah. Or maybe you're a clumsy person, but you got to take in consideration that, right? That comes with anything, right? Why am I hurting myself? That's the whole concept of the movie. That's the old man's mentality. Remember, again, fiction movie, but that's the old man's mentality. And that's what the guys were saying on the podcast, where, the mentality of John Kramer, the serial killer, was, in a way, relatively speaking, makes sense to an extent. But of course, it's, again, a fiction movie. It's still fucked up either way, but they were trying to make phonetic sense out of it. They're like, how is he thinking? How can we translate his thoughts into English words so we can understand? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's something I found interesting and I guess relatively true to an extent, right? But yeah, moving on from that though. I don't want to talk too much about that. Honestly, I think we've reached the end of the episode. We had a good run. Hopefully it's the longest episode we've done on the show so far. Next episode, guys, we're going to have a guest on, most likely. Either Nick or my buddy Denver, which is going to talk life, talk music, talk whatever. Honestly, we're just going to have fun. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys are all ready for that one. It's an entertaining podcast. I really do hope you guys really enjoy that one. It's coming up soon. Yeah, guys, stay blessed, stay safe, stay well, stay hungry, stay foolish. But have fun. I love you guys. God bless you all. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next episode.